many years ago when my smoking hot wife and I first started the adventure. And in the beginning, I was really just, at the beginning of the business, I was really trying to just be a consultant and getting hired for low fees per hour and stuff. And that's when I learned about speaking as being both a way for me to generate new consulting clients as well as a way to just get paid, because you could get paid to speak. Now, of course, many years later, speaking is an important part of my business. And of course, consulting is too. But back then, when we really first started to promote speaking as our primary profit center, we noticed a trend, and this is nothing that we don't all go through at some point or another, and that was really simply this, and that was that, like, we would go through a period where we were making a lot of money. Like, let's say, we'd go for about 3 months where, I was really busy, I was traveling, I was making a lot of money, and then at about every 3 months, this started to happen, where all of a sudden our income went way down like this. And at that point, both Kay and I, we're on the phone, we're promoting really, really hard, and marketing and selling, we're doing mailings, we're doing all kinds of things to get people to raise their hand and say that they're interested in hiring Steve as a speaker. And so we would work really hard for about 3 months. And then magically, all of a sudden, the revenues, the jobs came in, the gigs came in, and I would be out speaking and stuff. And then guess what would happen? It would happen again. It would go about 3 months, and then it would drop quite a bit. Now, during this time, of course, Kay was in the office, but for the but in reality, her primary job back then was to be Kelly's mom, right? So she wasn't in the office all the time and wasn't in that much. But what was happening, and it's pretty simple, we all know what was happening, and that was that when I was really busy, okay, when I was like up here and up here, I wasn't doing any marketing. I was really busy. I didn't have time for marketing or sales. And like I say, Kay wasn't really in the office, so that, and Kay is a fantastic salesperson whose job was to sell, right? But you can't sell if you don't have good leads, high quality leads. And so, I would go through this period down here from a marketing perspective, and I would basically be doing no marketing. And then as soon as when this thing started going down like this, right here, going in the wrong direction, I would start to crank up the marketing. And of course, at this point, right, I'm back home. And now I'm not on the road. I'm not on the road at all for about 3 months, which gives me plenty of time to do the marketing, right? And then all of a sudden, I'd be back out on the road again, and the marketing would basically go to a halt. It would grind to a halt. And then we were back up here again. And I remember, thinking to myself, gee, how do I fix that? What's going on here? I mean, I tried hiring somebody to help me do that, but they couldn't market me as well as I could market myself, and as well as Kay could sell me. And I was talking to a friend of mine, a longtime friend of mine, Nito Cobain. And Nito is president of High Point University. He's on the board of directors of BB&T Bank. He is chairman of Great Harvest Bread. He's a Horatio Alger Award winner. The guy's kind of smart, right? And I was talking to him about this one day, and he just kind of looked at me like Steve, and he said something really profound, and so simple. It was just like one of those V8 moments, right? And what he said to me was, he said, the most important time to be marketing, and be marketing aggressively, is when you're too busy, when you don't need it. That's the most important part. And that's because if you don't, then you're going to have, right? You're going to have these periods here where there's no money coming in, or not much money coming in, and you're just going to keep going through this vicious, cycle, I guess, of highs, and then, feast, famine, feast, famine. Now, why is this important? Well, number one, it's because we are all guilty of doing this. Okay. And number two is we all know this. This is nothing. This is nothing we don't already know. But pretty much all of us at some point in our professional careers, we fall into this trap. And I was reminded of this because, Kay was on the phone with a client of ours recently, and who we've been working with for a number of years, and we were just kind of having our regular ongoing phone calls with them about getting together, and me either getting on the phone with them or going out and visiting with them or something like that. And they just kept saying, and they keep saying, God, we just don't have time. We're just too busy. We're too busy. We have too many sales. We're just too busy. Well, they won't be. The cycle always swings, because the most important time to aggressively market and brand yourself is when you're too busy. So you have to deliberately make time. You have to proactively, deliberately, and actively make time in your calendar to keep that wheel going, to keep that flywheel going. Because, boy, let me tell you, I want to be up here all the time. That's where I want to be. And so I have to make time when I'm busy to be marketing myself. And you should too. This is Steve Miller, better known as Kelly's dad and marketing gunslinger. Thanks for joining me again this week on another Uncopyable Business video. I'll be back again next week, of course, with another one. And in the meantime, make sure you check out what's going on down below. Get the latest, our latest giveaway. And, freebie. Why not? Take advantage of it. And otherwise, always remember to be uncopyable. I'll see you.